Black single dad denied a room in his own hotel, staff fired on the spot. The exhausted father stood quietly at the front desk, holding his young daughter's hand as afternoon sunlight streamed through the massive glass windows of the luxury hotel. His shirt was wrinkled from a long day of travel. His daughter looked tired. And despite having a confirmed reservation, the staff behind the counter refused to give him a room. Guests in the lobby watched the uncomfortable scene unfold. Some looked away. Others whispered. No one realized that the man being denied service wasn't just another customer. He was the owner of the hotel. And before the day was over, a painful lesson about dignity, respect, and leadership would change several lives forever. Before we begin, please take a moment to like this video, comment where you're watching from, share this story with someone who believes in kindness and second chances, and subscribe to Heartwarming Tales for more emotional stories that remind us of the power of compassion. The city of Savannah glowed beneath a beautiful spring sky as Orion Bennett stepped out of a taxi with his 11-year-old daughter, Zuri. At 41 years old, Orion had built a successful hotel company from the ground up. His journey had never been easy. Years earlier, he had lost his wife, Camille, after a sudden illness. The tragedy left him heartbroken and alone with a small child who depended entirely on him. The months that followed became the hardest period of his life. He grieved. He struggled. He questioned whether he could carry the weight of fatherhood and business leadership at the same time. But every morning, Zuri gave him a reason to continue. He worked tirelessly during the day and devoted every free moment to his daughter. School events. Bedtime stories. Homework. Birthdays. Every milestone mattered. Slowly, both father and daughter healed together. At the same time, Orion continued growing his hotel business. What started as a single property eventually expanded into a respected hospitality company known for treating guests like family. His philosophy was simple. Every person deserved dignity. Every guest deserved respect. Every employee deserved opportunity. That philosophy became the foundation of his success. Yet because Orion rarely sought publicity, very few employees actually recognized him. He preferred visiting properties quietly and observing operations without special treatment. It helped him understand what guests truly experienced. On this particular afternoon, Orion and Zuri arrived at one of the company's newest luxury hotels after a long business trip. They were tired, hungry, and eager to rest. The lobby sparkled beneath elegant chandeliers. Fresh flowers decorated the reception area. Everything appeared perfect. At least at first glance. When Orion approached the front desk, the receptionist barely looked up. After checking the reservation, her expression changed. Several assumptions immediately formed in her mind. She glanced at Orion's casual clothing and travel-worn appearance. Then at his daughter. Then back at the computer. What happened next surprised him. The employee claimed no suitable rooms were available despite the confirmed booking. Orion remained polite. He calmly explained that he had reserved the room weeks earlier. The receptionist became increasingly dismissive. Another staff member joined the conversation. Instead of helping, the situation worsened. Nearby guests began noticing. Zuri squeezed her father's hand. The young girl could sense the tension. More painful than the inconvenience itself was the feeling behind it. Orion had encountered prejudice before. He recognized it immediately. The assumptions. The dismissive tone. The refusal to see the person standing in front of them. As a father, moments like these hurt even more because his daughter was watching. Children notice everything. The way people treat their parents. The way kindness appears. The way cruelty appears. Orion wanted to shield Zuri from experiences like this. But reality doesn't always allow that. Still, he remained calm. Years of hardship had taught him patience. While the disagreement continued, a housekeeping employee named Marisol quietly observed from nearby. Unlike others, she noticed something important. She noticed how respectfully Orion spoke despite being treated unfairly. She noticed how carefully he reassured his daughter. She noticed his character. Trusting her instincts, she approached management and mentioned that the guest seemed familiar. Within minutes, the hotel's general manager arrived. The moment he saw Orion, his face turned pale. He immediately recognized the founder and owner of the entire company. The lobby fell silent. Employees stared in disbelief. The receptionist who had dismissed Orion moments earlier suddenly realized what had happened. Shock spread across her face. But Orion wasn't focused on embarrassment. He wasn't interested in revenge. What concerned him most was something deeper. If this was how he had been treated, how many other guests experienced the same thing? How many people walked away feeling unwelcome? How many families left believing they didn't belong? That question mattered far more than his own inconvenience. A private investigation began immediately. Management reviewed guest complaints, employee conduct reports, and customer feedback. What they discovered was troubling. The receptionist and another employee had developed a pattern of treating certain guests differently based on appearance and assumptions. Multiple complaints had been ignored. Multiple opportunities for improvement had been missed. The findings left leadership with no choice. The employees were terminated. Not because of one mistake. Because of repeated behavior that violated the values of the company. Yet the story did not end there. What happened afterward surprised everyone. Orion requested that additional training programs be created for all employees across the organization. He wanted staff to understand that hospitality wasn't about appearances. It was about people. He also introduced new mentorship opportunities designed to help employees grow personally and professionally. His goal wasn't punishment. His goal was improvement. Because true leadership doesn't simply react to problems. It seeks to prevent them. Later that evening, after finally checking into their suite, Orion sat beside Zuri near a large window overlooking the city. Golden afternoon light stretched across the skyline. The young girl asked questions about what had happened. Questions no child should have to ask. Orion answered honestly. He explained that some people make judgments before learning someone's story. But he also explained something equally important. He told her that another person's prejudice should never define her worth. That lesson stayed with Zuri. Years later, she would remember it as one of the most important conversations of her childhood. In the months that followed, the hotel transformed. Guest satisfaction improved. Employee morale improved. The culture became stronger. Not because of fear. Because people understood the purpose behind the standards. Respect became more than a company slogan. It became a daily practice. If this story touched your heart, please take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who believes in treating others with dignity, and leave a comment below. Your support helps these inspiring stories reach more people around the world. Special request: comment, respect everyone, if you believe every person deserves kindness regardless of appearance, status, or background. As the warm afternoon sunlight faded beyond the horizon and city lights began to glow, Orion reflected on the events of the day. Success had never been measured by the number of hotels he owned. True success was creating places where people felt welcomed, valued, respected. Because at the end of the day, the most important thing we can offer one another is not luxury. It is dignity. And sometimes the greatest test of character is how we treat someone when we believe they have nothing to offer us in return. That is a lesson worth remembering forever. I hope this version matches the emotional, cinematic, and heartwarming storytelling style you're looking for your YouTube channel.